Hi, welcome to this week's video blog at MonsterMortgage.ca. My name is Kristian Harris, and we're sitting in my office today just going through some files that are pending, coming up for closing soon. And a lot of times what happens is the lenders want to close up all the conditions that are outstanding. And it used to be that what we've run into recently, I should say, is the condition sheets that we're getting are expanding. They're asking for more documentation. This goes back to all those rule changes that we've seen sort of in the last 12 to 24 months. And two of the areas that we're noticing the most is really on income and down payment. Now when it comes to income, in the past we would have lenders who would ask for one or maybe two forms of income verification. So what that means to you, the consumer, they'd maybe ask for an employment letter and maybe a pay stub to verify that you are working there. Well, now they're also not only asking for those two, a lot of times they're asking for a notice of assessment to see what your total income was for that year. On top of that, they may be asking for a copy of your T1 General. Your T1 General shows sort of the breakdown of how you made that total number. So they're asking for a lot more documentation on files compared to in the past. I mentioned down payment. Well, a lot of times with down payment, they used to ask for sort of a 90-day history of your bank account, just see that you've accumulated the money and saved the money for your down payment on your new home. Now what they're doing is basically analyzing the money's going into that account. If there's larger sums, they want to verify where that money came from. Again, this is basically all the institutions have been notified by OSFI that they have to do more dotting their I's and crossing their T's than they did before. So it's putting a lot more pressure on clients to come up with a lot more documentation compared to the past. So what does that mean to someone out there looking to buy or just bought? Have your ducks lined up in a row ready to go. When you're speaking to your mortgage broker, you should always go in prior to purchasing, sitting down, speaking with your mortgage broker. Let's go through, talk about products, let's talk about different lenders, but let's also talk about process and what's going to be needed. And gather that information up front, because I can tell you when you end up making an offer on a house, there's usually a lot going on in the 3 to 5 days if there's a condition in there, and it's tough to gather up documentation. Maybe you have to call an accountant. So my advice is to get the information up front, set up an appointment, speak to a broker, come on in, talk to us, and make sure you understand what's going to be needed. And you're not doing it at the 11th hour, you're doing it up front. It just takes the stress off of everyone, but be prepared that the lender will be asking for more documentation than you may have been used to in the past. Thank you very much.